Hello, my Facebook friends. Hopefully you can hear me over my freaking air conditioning. I got back home, so I just want to say hello. This trip, as always, I'm so grateful all the time for the blessings in my life and being able to be different places, to be on a plane heading to Orlando to where beach and sunshine was compared to, giving myself injections on Wednesday and then dreading whether or not they were going to actually work. Whoops, I'm shaking all over the place. Work this week. Such a difference in my life. Like, I can't begin to say, so Throwback Thursday was like, yeah, this used to be the day where I'd be like hoping that my day went halfway well because it was so crappy back then, right? So, you guys know something about Mary here, right? So this has actually to go along with what I wanted to talk with you guys about. So hopefully you're not as distracted as I am as looking at it, because like streaking right back up. But I just landed here in Oregon, and it's, according to this, 108 degrees. So I guess, I joked around a couple weeks ago that I asked for sunshine and weather. I'm like, please God, my body could use a little bit of warmth on it. And then it was like warm but muggy. And then I kind of joked around about it later. Then I'm like, okay, so now I need to be a little more specific. So I'm like, God, I could really use some sunshine and some heat to heat up mama's bones because they're feeling a little, achy. So I come back and it's 108. And I'm like, okay, so got to be careful what we talk about and wish for, right? So, but along the lines of that, right? Notice I said what we wish for. Driving up here, there was like 5 accidents. I was so upset because I didn't get to end up seeing my son before I flew out, because normally that's our thing. Like, I see my babies, I kiss them before I go, because we just never know what's going to happen in our life. So I really truly cherish like every single moment that I have with my children, because my life is so different. And so I was feeling really kind of busted up when I got to the airport, because I was like, man, I don't ever get to let my lips be the last thing on his cheek before I fly out. But there was like 5 accidents on the way up here. And so I was listening to my online service while I was coming up here, and it really hit my heart because, I always know, and maybe you know this too, and you can put a 2 if you agree, that God's timing is perfect timing. It may not be my timing, right? But it's perfect timing. And so as I realized that as many accidents that had taken place that morning that I was feeling frustrated about, was that could have been him gently realigning me so that I wasn't having a whole different day that day, that my kids maybe weren't experiencing a whole different day. And I talk to you guys often about how I really believe in a mind, body, soul approach, because our minds are so powerful. What we speak out, what we think, sometimes they make us feel like we're going crazy, because I was just joking with somebody about it, because that's why I'm really careful with my words now, because I asked for hair growth because, my collagen was causing, what's wrong with my screen here? My collagen was causing my hair to break off in chunks, or not my collagen, my lupus was causing my hair to break off in chunks. Now I'm getting hair growth, right? Now I got something about Mary hair, there's always going to be something, right? I tell you guys about how I like to make sure I'm drinking my cup of tea every single day, right? Not the new tea that's coming out that I'm going to tell with you guys about, which is amazing, but the tea of life, right? Whether it's prayer, meditation, self-development, whatever is your cup of tea, drink it every single day to make sure that you're keeping this strong, right? Because that's the thing, as I say, mind, body, soul approach, because just as much as you want to supplement your body, you want to make sure you're supplementing your mind. So as I was driving up and feeling like a little frustrated, one of the quotes out of Louise Hayes' affirmations book came to me, Meditations to Heal Your Life. And it was like, our mindset is so powerful, right? I'm paraphrasing. It's so powerful that we can look at a rainy day and be like, oh, this is the worst day ever. It ruined all my plans. This is not what I had planned. And we could just be so angry about it that it shifts our whole mindset to negativity. And that's all we can see from that point forward is negativity, right? But if we just look at that day as maybe it's just a wet day, maybe it wasn't exactly as what we anticipated that day to be, that doesn't mean that it's a horrible day, right? It doesn't mean that it's the worst day ever kind of day. It just means it's a different day, right? So as I was listening to this service coming up here, it really spoke to my heart, because as I was doing TikTok, I've dabbled into a little bit of Christian TikTok as well now, and I can't help but notice how many people make comments. And, I've got the trolls on there where like, oh, it must be nice to actually believe in a man in the sky, which I'm like, all right, that's a projection of you on me. That's not sticking, because people are not happy and they want to blame somebody or something, right? And sometimes, unfortunately, God is the one that gets blamed, right? If you know what I'm talking about, some people that do that, give me a sad face in the comments. Because the reason it spoke to my heart was because I often get asked if I blame God for being as sick as I am. If you follow me, you probably saw that I had a little craziness while I was in Orlando, right? Which could have led me to be angry and be like, well, there it is again. I'm still sick. I'm out here doing your work. And why did you let this happen to me, right? But I really don't look at it that way. Instead, I look at it as, you know what? I quickly recovered. Not only that, on my way back on the flight, I was able to be in a position where there was a mother on the plane with frantic children trying to find a place for all of them because she had little kids with her. Her and her husband were traveling with little kids, and they separated them all on the plane as people watched on and nobody offered to help them, right? Something before I even got on the plane was like, I had heard some talking about, some people like, well, why would you separate kids from their parents, and I kind of heard it and I wasn't paying attention. It wasn't my business. So, I kind of went on my way, but it stuck in my heart. And as soon as I got on the plane, I knew like I was going to be giving up my seat. I don't know why. I just knew I was going to be giving up my seat. And I had an inclination that it was going to be for something in that scenario. So sure enough, we're getting ready to board. Everybody's frantically getting on. Here comes this family with young children, and they have no seats with their babies. Like their baby, literally little babies, like just above lap size was one of them. And they wanted to separate them. And I was like watching as no one offered to give up their spot. And I thought to myself, right? And I might lose some friends with this one, right? But I thought to myself, how many people on this plane right now call themselves Christians, right? We're gonna go deep, guys. It might hurt some feelings. I, without a doubt, knew at that very moment that like it was a given. Like I already knew before I got on the plane that it was happening, right? But when it was approached and blatantly in front of everybody's face, you didn't see people stepping up and saying, hey, let me help you out. What can we do to try to help you get your family? This mom's frantic. And I'm just sitting there, and of course, when I got up to give up my seat, the gentleman next to me saw what I did, so he got up to give up his seat, right? And he's like, and we had good seats, and they're like, no, and I'm like, no, please, I insist. So I gave the seat up, we did our plane ride. I still just kind of sat there and I was thinking about like the service that I heard on the way up here, as well as, just the events that happened over the weekend, and just, looking at this family right then when it happened, and thinking to myself that, I had a good seat. Like things were good for me. Like I was thinking to myself, thank God he got me on the right plane. I was getting home. It was safe travels. After everything that happened this weekend, thank you, God, right? You answered my prayers. But the thing is that so many of us, right, we give that moment to him, but what are we doing to reciprocate that relationship, right? Sorry guys, my hair is all flipping around. What are we doing to reciprocate it? What are we doing to put ourselves in the position so that he could use us for other people? We're so quick to give thanks when he's given us what we want. Like when we rub it like a genie in the bottle and say, God, please grant me this. Send me someone to fill my needs of being alone. Make my marriage better. Make my kids behave, right? We've all been there, right? All these things, give me a good paying job, make my health better. All these things that we turn to him, which we're supposed to turn to him and give to him. But what are we doing in return? I don't know why, but that just really stuck with me, because I'm like, so many people that reach out to me as I'm doing these health TikToks or these Christian TikToks, and they have these negative attitudes like, what has he done for me lately? And I can't help but think to myself, like, what have you done for him lately? I mean, I told you I'm gonna lose some friends with this one, but I'm like, what have you done to remind people around you that he's still here, he's still in charge, and even when times get crappy, that you know that he's gonna pull you through that. Yesterday, I had a crazy thing go on. Hi guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm telling you, I'm feeling the fire up here now, not just because it's 108 degrees outside, but I just felt it. Like I said, driving up here, I felt it driving up. I lost a little bit of it because I was going crazy this weekend, right? But then I had my bit of a flare scare, but literally just as quickly as it came on, it was quickly as gone. And I thank all of you prayer warriors out there for praying for me strong, because it was scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was telling him, I'm like, my good friend Angel, if you're watching, I love you, sweetheart. I tell you guys all the time, like I have people in my DM all the time being like, why don't you start dating? You're wasting your time. You're not taking care of stuff, because I've been single now for almost 2 years. And I said, when you step into a season of sacrifice with God, when you're not willing to just give it up for like a fast food restaurant meal, I'm sorry, it's not just about the gut health I'm talking about, right? I would rather sit and wait for the feast that he has to bring to me. I don't want to be with somebody just to be with someone, right? I have friends like my dear friend Angel and his niece who took care of me while I was gone this weekend. Many other friends that reached out. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Melissa. That reached out and put prayer over me. I could feel them even from the distances of everywhere, just putting their hands on me and just being like, Heather, I hope you feel better, because it was scary. Like I hadn't got that sick in a long time. And I'm telling you guys, hi Tabitha, hi sweetheart, is that in that moment, I could have went one or two ways. I could have got angry and been like, what the hell are you doing here? Let's be real, right? I'm talking raw talk. I'm out here spreading your word, showing hope, inspiration, giving this season of sacrifice. I'm not settling for TV dinners. And this is what happens, right? Like this whole spiritual warfare, and I start questioning everything. But no, instead, I was like, you know, I even told Angel, which I even embarrassed to admit this out loud. I was like, if anything ever happens to me, just tell my kids and my babies that they were the last thing I thought about because I love them so much, right? And he's like, don't say that, because I was so weak walking up to the room. You're getting me all mushy and everything. But when I got off the plane today, right, and I landed and I had this incident with this family who was just frantic and trying to figure out what they were going to do. And, you know, I could have been, you know, completely just in with what was going on in my life in the moment that I didn't even pay attention to them, right? Or I could have been just in my own blessing, right? Being like, thanks God, thanks for giving me a good seat, thanks for giving me a ride home, thanks for taking care of me, and not even thinking about, okay, so what am I doing for him, right? And so when I got off the plane, the mother came up to me. First the father thanked me, and then the mother came up to me, and she was emotional, you know, I could see it in her face, and she's like, I just can't thank you enough. And I'm not sharing this with you guys because I need like pats on the back and props, right? I'm sharing this with you guys because I want you to understand how little the gesture can be that could change the outlook for so many people. And your outlook, your perspective, plays such a big part in everything in your life. Your health, right? Your wealth, your business, how you do business with people, right? Are you a crook? Are you a straight person? What are you, right? Whether you are, you know, how you interact with your children, what your children see. I mean, if you're telling your children, you're preaching one thing, we're good Christians and we do this and we do that, and then they see you doing another thing, right? I mean, come on, let's be real. Like I said, I might lose some friends with this one, but you know, I'm not sharing with you guys because I need a pat on the back. I'm sharing with you guys because when we feel that moment where we're just grateful and everything that's happening in our life, we can't be so blinded that we can't stop and think about that he might be still needing to use us for another scenario. And she walked up to me and I told her, I said, you're gonna think I'm crazy, because this is me, just right, diarrhea of the mouth. I just say what is on my mind. You know, Heather, you never know. Box of chocolate, sweet, salty, anything in the middle. I said, I already knew I was going to give up that seat before I got on the plane. I don't know why, but I felt it on my heart. Like I was just like, it's going to happen. And sure enough, and it wasn't even her that was sitting at the booth when I heard this all happen. And when I got up, I created that ripple effect. The person next to me got up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I just, you know, I felt it. Like, it's like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Put giddy in the comments if you know what I mean when your soul gets giddy because you're like an obedient child that's being rewarded by your parent when you listen, right? That's what I felt like in that moment. Was I felt like even though my world was busy and doing whatever, and I felt like I was dying yesterday and then I wasn't dying, and then, you know, and then I come back, and even though I was stuck in my minute, you know, not very much sleep last night, I felt giddy watching her walk up to me because she said, you know what, Heather? I was praying that Heavenly Father was going to send me a miracle. You know, because I introduced ourselves, right? She's like, Heather, I was praying that Heavenly Father was going to send me a miracle. I was scared. Like, I mean, her babies. Come on now, put babies in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Scary stuff, right? She's like, I don't want my baby sitting away from me. So I got off the thing. I was returning messages as fast as I can. I get to my car. It's 108 degrees in here. And I'm like, I need to just get to where I'm going, pick up my baby, hug him, give him some kisses, let him know what's up. But I felt it in my heart. Like, I'm like, no, I want to do a live about this because somewhere in the season that you're in your life right now, right? Whatever it is, in your marriage, in your business, in your, yeah, guys, exactly. Tears of joy. I mean, I get all gushy-bushy about it. You guys know that, right? Whatever season you're in. Maybe you just went through a divorce. Maybe you're feeling lost. Maybe you're feeling, I mean, let's be real, right? We can put anything in that blank that we're feeling right now. And sometimes we get so engulfed in it that we lose track. Maybe we lose sight of even him because we're just like, why would he let me feel this way, right? Why? All the whys, right? Like that little kid. Why, Mom? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Remember those, right? Give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? That's me. Are we there yet, God? Like, what is this all building up to? And I don't know. I felt it. Maybe it was spoken for you. Maybe it was spoken for me. Maybe it was spoken for all of us. But I just thought somebody needed to hear this because so often we use God like a magic genie. Like we rub it, all right, fix my health, God, fix my marriage, bring me the man with the tacos, Heather's wish, right? Who's loving and legit, and you know, but in seriousness, right? We ask for this list, like we're sitting there praying hard, asking for the list of things that we want. What are you doing to align your path with his? And what are you doing to make sure that you are representing him in your everyday life? Not just on Sunday, not just when it's convenient, not when you need that genie in the bottle to pop out and grant some wishes for you, but when are you doing the simplest thing that he's asking you to do And when are you doing it? This is the biggest part. With a grateful heart, right? Sorry, my collagen is working a little too hard. You guys are like, that crazy girl with her hair sticking up, my broken hair. Again, not complaining because my hair had broken off in so many chunks with my lupus that I will take the crazy ass hair flying everywhere doing this. But if that spoke to you guys, give me a 10 up in the comments, right? Because I'm telling you, it's not just the hot weather and the sweat between places it's not supposed to be right now, but I felt like, dang, that's deep. Like, so many of us sit around asking us, God, what have you done for me lately? And the question should be is, what have we done for him lately? Because we have so much to be blessed about, even in our worst season, even during our most loss, even though we don't understand why he's bringing us to where we're at. Like, I'm telling you, he's amazing. I'm never ceased to be amazed. And then there's people I come across and I'm just like, okay, that's not so amazing. We're just going to scoot that aside and forget that we saw that. So it's not always sunshine and rainbows. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. I'm glad to be alive, right? Sounds corny. People, Heather's so dramatic, but no, I am. I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to be being used in such an amazing way. I'm grateful for the good, I'm grateful for the bad, and I'm grateful for everything in between. Because the thing is we don't always know what he's using us for. He's not a magic lamp, guys. As much as I would love that, I tell you what, if that was the case, I would be in perfect health. I would have some tall, dark, and handsome with a platter of tacos, and you ain't seen that happening, so I'm just saying. But in the meantime, what he sent me was what I needed. He sent me friends that love me so much that they remind me that I don't need to have a man just to fill a gap, right? Friends that love me so much that I know that even if my family can't always be the people that I need, right? That there's still other people in there whose souls are connected with me, that they love me enough that I can feel grounded and secure, that I don't have to settle for that TV dinner. So, you want a TV dinner, that's cool. No judgment. Put TV dinner in the comments. If you're about the feast, put feast in the comments. I love you guys all. God bless. Thanks for watching and all the support always, and take care.